let me paint a picture of why being led by the Spirit is so important. I was at work maybe about a month ago, me and just an associate at the job site. And it was slow this day. There was nothing going on. It was storming outside. It was dark because of daylight saving time. It was cold and it was raining and it was windy. It was so windy that it seemed like the rain was falling sideways. So I was in the job site, just continuing my day as normal, and a family, a Hispanic woman and her 2 children walked into the store. So I acknowledged them, I greeted them, and it seems to be that she didn't speak really a lot of English or very little. So when she acknowledged me, she just nodded her head, she smiled, and she kept going about her business. So shortly thereafter, she got what she needed. She didn't ask any questions. She got what she needed for her children, and she left. Now the story comes in as to she left her phone behind on the counter. So the associate that was working with me told me, who was closer to the situation, like, hey, she just left her phone. Now I'm thinking, okay, why don't you go chase her down and give it to her? Because I'm on the backside of the store when she tells me over the radio. And so I say, okay, no worries. So without me thinking, I grab her phone, I run after her outside in the middle of the storm to go give her what she left. She gets in the car, and I can see her strapping her kids in, getting in the car, starting it, and getting ready to drive off as I'm approaching it. Now, by the time I get to this car, I'm about arm's length or a little distance away, because obviously in this day and age, you gotta be careful. And so I make my intentions known, my hands clear, and I'm standing in the middle of the storm, and I'm just waving with her phone in my hand, right? And so you could see her looking around in the car for this phone, because you could obviously tell that she lost something. So she's looking around, and I'm just standing outside, just waving with the telephone in my hand, right? Trying to signal her. And eventually you see her through the window look up, and she sees me because I'm kind of tall and she's kind of short in the car. So in order for her to see that I have what she needs, she looks up. So then she rolls down the window slowly, and then she just stretches out her hands, and she gets what she's needed from me as I was standing there in the middle of her storm. No jacket, no umbrella. I'm just standing in the rain with what she was looking for. But the only way she could have received it was by her rolling down the window, looking up, and stretching out her hands. And the same person that didn't speak to me when she came in the store and I acknowledged her, she said thank you. And so I gave her the phone, and she went on about her business, and she enjoyed the rest of her day, I'm sure. Because she could have left without that phone, and she would have been scrambling on where she would have left it, not being able to find it or retrieve where she left it at. So she would have had to retrace her steps of everywhere she went that day. But due to my obedience of not asking any questions, doing for her as I would want for somebody to do to me, I ran out and I gave her the phone. And so when I got back inside, I said, okay, Lord, what are you trying to show me? Because I realized that nothing happens by accident. When I got back in the store and I was finishing my tasks, I was talking to the Lord and I said, okay, what do you want me to know from this story? And I specifically heard him say, I'm about to give you exactly what you need in the middle of your storm. And for everyone that's different, but for me specifically, it was clarity. Now, clarity is not just one word. What I realized over time, being as though it was a month, I realized that clarity breaks down as like a domino effect. When you understand what you're supposed to do, it trickles down into consistency, it trickles down into your behavior, it trickles down into motivation, inspiration. All of these things happen because you understand what you're supposed to be doing. And the scripture that was given to me was Hebrews chapter 4, where he's speaking on the rest that is given to you when you rest in the Lord. And so big picture, you're thinking, okay, the Lord will give me rest. But in clarity, I understand when you do what the Lord wants you to do, the rest for you is granted. So be led by the Spirit.